XAI dropped a bombshell on the AI world with the launch of Grok 3, a new model that's shaking up the competition and giving industry leaders a serious run for their money. Right from the start of the broadcast, the XAI team set the tone by unveiling a fascinating chart. This chart tracked the reasoning progress of various Grok models against different versions of ChatGPT, highlighting just how far Grok has come in a short time. But before we dive into the details, it's worth remembering one important thing. Take this with a grain of salt. Why? Because Elon Musk is the mastermind behind XAI, and he's not just playing the tech game, he's playing the business game too. Musk has made no secret of his interest in acquiring OpenAI, much like his high-profile purchase of Twitter. Whether his endgame is to buy out OpenAI or simply outdo them as he's doing now, it's definitely in his best interest to downplay OpenAI's achievements while hyping up his own. Musk knows how to shape a narrative, and it wouldn't be surprising if the comparisons were meant to sway public opinion. If people start believing his team built a superior model in a fraction of the time, it would undoubtedly devalue OpenAI, making a potential acquisition cheaper, or at the very least making XAI look like a giant slayer. But to be fair, X has been doing some genuinely impressive work to back up its claims. This isn't just hype. There's serious tech muscle behind Grok 3. The secret weapon? Colossus. So, what's X's secret weapon? It's not just Grok 3 itself, it's the massive infrastructure behind it. Specifically, a mind-blowing data center known as Colossus. This isn't just any server farm, it's the largest GPU cluster in the world, housing an eye-watering 200,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs. For context, that's at least twice as powerful as the next best GPU cluster out there. This gives X a massive advantage, not just in computing power but in flexibility. Since they built their own data center from the ground up, they have the ability to optimize these GPUs down to the hardware level. Compare that to OpenAI, which primarily relies on Microsoft's Azure platform. While OpenAI probably has some special agreements with Microsoft that allow them to fine-tune their usage beyond what normal Azure users can do, they're still limited by the constraints of a shared cloud platform. X, on the other hand, controls every aspect of the tech stack, down to the bare metal. This means they can optimize everything from hardware configurations to software layers in ways OpenAI simply can't. Honestly, the achievement of getting this cluster to train Grok 3 might be even more impressive than Grok itself. Colossus. Building the beast. Let's talk about what it took to build this behemoth. X managed to get 100,000 GPUs up and running in just 122 days. An incredible feat of engineering and logistics. Then, in another 92 days, they doubled that number to 200,000 GPUs. But with great power comes great power bills. This data center eats up a jaw-dropping 250 megawatts of electricity. To handle this enormous power load, Tesla stepped in with megapacks, massive battery units that help buffer power surges when Grok starts up or shuts down. And because all that computing generates intense heat, they designed a custom water cooling system to keep temperatures in check. Just imagine the noise. 200,000 GPUs all running at full throttle with an army of industrial fans roaring to keep them cool. It must sound like standing next to a jet engine. And they're not stopping here. During the broadcast, X hinted at plans to expand Colossus and even build additional data centers. Naturally, the internet did its thing, and memes have started popping up. One popular meme references Back to the Future's 1.21 gigawatts line, poking fun at the massive power needs of Colossus. With the current power consumption already at 0.25 gigawatts, they might just hit that meme-worthy milestone sooner than we think. The H100s today, H200s tomorrow. As powerful as Colossus is right now, X is already planning the next upgrade. They're looking to swap out the H100 GPUs for the next-gen H200s, which boast almost double the onboard memory. These new GPUs also offer better performance and scalability, specifically designed for running large language models. This isn't just about staying competitive, it's about maintaining dominance. Early benchmarks show that Grok 3 is in a league of its own, especially in math, science, and coding. In fact, an early version of Grok 3, codenamed Chocolate, outperformed every other chatbot on IM Arena, a platform where users do blind tests to compare AI models. By doing this anonymously, it avoids bias, making the results more reliable. Pay to play, the Grok paywall. But there's a catch. Grok 3 is paywalled. You can't run it locally, and you definitely can't use it for free. The only way in is through an X Premium Plus subscription, which costs a hefty $40 a month. Just last year, this was $22, nearly half the price. So what gives? The frustrating part is that most of this subscription fee doesn't even go toward Grok itself. It also pays for features on X, formerly known as Twitter, like editing posts, posting longer videos, and getting fewer ads. In short, the majority of what you're paying for is tied to the social media platform, not the AI. This is the downside of Musk's everything app vision. By bundling all these features together, you're stuck, paying for things you might not even want just to access Grok. Open source hope? There's some good news for the open source community, though. Musk announced that xAI plans to open source Grok 2 once Grok 3 becomes stable. They did the same with Grok 1, so this seems like a genuine commitment. But before you get too excited, keep in mind that other versions like Grok 1.5 and 2 Mini still haven't been open sourced, so skepticism is understandable. But if they do stick to this pattern, xAI could end up creating the world's best open source AI models within a few years. What do you think? This is the big question. Do you think Musk will follow through on his promise to build the best AI models for humanity? Or is this just another strategic business move? And what about DeepSeek and OpenAI? Can they keep their edge in open source and closed source models respectively? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.